Hey guys, so after a couple days with the new patch, I just wanted to go over kind of the story, how it compares to book 1, 2, 3, and 4. Um, as you can see here, I'm actually going to use the Sharena, Alphonse, Anna, and the new Reginn unit that you get after beating Chapter 1, Part 5 here. I thought the opening story was okay, and then it kind of falls back into the same pattern, and I'll tell you what it means as I walk through them. So we're not going to skip dialogue, we're going to go through all of the dialogue here, just so you guys have a sense of what's happening. But Chapter 5, Princess Ex Machina, so we definitely know they're going for this, and you get the entire opening cinematic, as you would. I actually would advise that you guys watch the full thing here, but the one thing I want to mention is it seems like he's been being controlled by this crown. And this cinematic, unlike some of the other ones that fit to the phone screen, I do recommend you watching this in full screen because there's so many other details here that you guys might miss. We're going to double tap it because we already saw this in the Faye channel, and there's a dedicated trailer on YouTube. And we're going to jump straight into the story. So one of the things that you're going to notice right away is the background, right? The background, it looks like a battlefield, and they're going for that battlefield vibe because they have the sword in the sand, they have the fire, and they have all of these gears that are kind of on the ground. So dwarves in the mythology, they're really skilled with making things. So definitely the angle here is these guys are engineers, right? So there's question mark, and that's, you're like, who's talking at this point? And where is this place, right? So right away, you don't know who's talking, but the person who's talking is unaware of where they are. And then you're shown a picture of the summoner. But this has been tricky in the past for a couple of reasons. One, because the summoner in book 4 was not really the summoner, because the summoner were Alphonse. So we don't know if this is the summoner or if this is someone else. They definitely have the summoner vibe, but you don't know if that's you. Who goes there? Show yourself, right? So here's the interesting thing. Now the summoner picture disappears, and you don't know who's talking still. I mean, surely the summoner looking guy is not talking. Where am I? Answer me! Huh, another failure. I truly thought I had it figured out this time. What are you talking about? Who are you? Oh well, nothing to be done, I suppose. Shame for my work to go to waste, but a mistake is a mistake. What are you? Stay back, you! It even turns its blade on me. Well, no better than the others. Well, no reason to waste time. Gah, curse you! Ha! Oh, and it escaped. All well, death lies just as surely out there as it does here. So you understand that this mysterious summoner-like figure is not the greatest of guys, but you still don't know who's talking. Gah. Where am I? Devastation in all directions. As far as the eye can see, what would cause such ruin? What war could be so terrible? My head! So pretty promising. There's a couple of mysteries here. You want to know who the dude is. You want to know who the summoner is. And you don't get that. But what happens here is Alphonse goes, blast! Alphonse, is everything alright? Things are fine for the moment, but where's Noctis? I'm Noctis. I'm the summoner in this story. Here, safe and sound. Now who's our enemy and how did suddenly get so far to ask her? I don't know yet. Our scout said it was an enemy just appeared on our borders. What? How can a whole company of troops appear from nowhere as if by magic? As if by magic. So by now, Alphonse is very wise. He has gone through the death of his father. He has gone through fighting death itself and facing his alternate self in Leaf. So he has a little wisen up by now. No, surely it's not possible. So right away you can tell he knows something is up. Do you have any idea, Alphonse? And Sharena is still kind of the naive sister as always. Wait, there's their commander. If we can take out their officer, this should resolve the situation for now. Let's go. And there you see Reginn, and she's kind of like, Prince Alphonse of Asgard. And that would make you the summoner Noctis. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Reginn, sister of Fáfnir, king of Nidavellir. Just as I thought. My purpose here is twofold. I am told to occupy this kingdom and secure the summer for Nidavellir. You what? What do you want with Noctis? I don't need to explain myself to you. If you do not meet my demands, I will just have to make you. So right away, she's kind of brash, right? So she's just going ahead and she's ready to attack. She doesn't want to really talk it over or explain why she's attacking them. She just wants to attack, which is nice because a lot of times villains just talk and they kind of give away their motives. So right away she's like, I'm gonna fight you no matter what. And then she gets defeated and she goes, good, you're pretty strong. I'll retreat for now. They're gone. We're safe for now. So Alphonse, this Nidavellir, it's the home of the Dragar, isn't it? Is it that Nidavellir? So it would seem the same Dragar who unlocked the secrets of magic, the secret of járn. Oh my god, these words. With such power at the disposal, it's likely the Devgar could approach our borders completely undetected. So I'm pretty sure that word means dwarves. Járn? What's that? Járn. A systematic study and application of magic. Only the Nidavellir has any success with its use. I let my guard down, but I was aware of the reports noting suspicious activity of Nidavellir lately. So Anna has been keeping tabs on Nidavellir and probably all of the other kingdoms as well. So since we know the Heroes is based on the Greek mythology with, Thor and Loki and stuff, so there's multiple kingdoms. So she's been keeping an eye on all of them. In this case, she was keeping an eye on them, but she wasn't keeping as much of a close eye, so this is a surprise attack for her. Regardless, we must not hold back, not until they retreat completely. Then we have to defeat the princess, don't we? Reginn, I mean. She looks no older than I am. That doesn't make it any easier. So Sharena, in every single story, is kind of the kind-hearted one. She's the one that is most sympathetic to the enemies. In this case, she recognizes the enemy is just around her age, so she's like, why do they have to attack us? Their general is just no older than me. Tell me, did you notice her hesitate at all, Noctis? So here's the thing, is from the text that they chose for Reginn, it didn't seem like she hesitated, but this is another point that's showing you Alphonse has kind of grown and evolved, where he recognizes now from her tone, because you can't read tone from the text, that she made a hesitation and he's pointing it out. Oh, maybe we can persuade her to retreat somehow. So Sharena is happy that Alphonse noticed that. But here again, he's the mature one now. He's like, we shouldn't rule out the possibility yet. I was wondering if Princess Reginn was holding back. It may be a momentary lapse on her part. In any case, let's keep our eyes open. And we know who she's targeting, and we know who to protect. No need to worry, Noctis. Well, I don't have Fey Pass, but I do have these quests. So that was an interesting open. You got to see kind of the summoner bad guy, I guess, or a mysterious guy, and then you see Reginn there attack them. And I really like the amount of dialogue, especially in chapter 1. Decades ago, coup d'etat toppled the kingdom of Nidavellir, and the country fell to ruin. Until recently, they would have been completely unable to muster a force large enough to invade a country. Not long ago, a soldier seized the throne by force. His name was Fáfnir, and he is now their king. He must be incredibly strong to accomplish such a feat. Surely commands a strength beyond anything known to us. So Alphonse now has the worldly knowledge, so he can compare his rule across all of the different summoned princes, and in this case with Fáfnir. The people of Nidavellir hope for a righteous king, and they welcome Fáfnir's rule. The fact that he was not Dragar royalty didn't matter to them, but their righteousness they thought they saw in him didn't last long. As quickly as he's taken the throne, he became a tyrant, subjugating his people and invading other countries. And now his force finally arrived here in Asgard. Could power possibly corrupt a good heart so quickly? So Sharena is asking all the right questions, but in her naivete, she doesn't know that she's asking the right question. I hope it's not so simple. That would be too sad. Okay, and then here, this is where I'm kind of like, alright, we got one chapter, or one part with Reginn, and then here's just generic enemies. They're not even in the mechs, they're just generic enemies, right? And that's where I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't make new mech soldiers. I mean, I know they made new Dragonstone people a few chapters ago, but here they didn't even make any new mech soldiers. It's just the generic soldiers, right? So there's no point in having those guys at all. Okay, so we go on to 1.3. And in 1.3, attention! Dragar troops have appeared on the northern border. They're in the north this time? How can we ever know where they'll show up if they can appear anywhere? It's a good question, because what they should do is just open the gates to all of the directions at the same time. That'll make strategizing tricky, even for Noctis, Summoner. If they're formidable indeed, every other country they've invaded had fallen one by one. It is the power granted them by their mastery of járn. They've already conquered so many others. Alphonse, this all gives me a bad feeling down to my bones. So Alphonse knows what's going on. So Anna and Alphonse knows what's going on, and now it's come to their door. That's when they start to worry about it. We mustn't lose hope, Sharena. As long as we don't give up, we have a chance. Plus what? We may be able to get insight when we meet Princess Reginn. Call it a feeling in my bones. I can tell we're on the same page, Noctis. I'm glad. So here's another evolution of Alphonse's character. When you first meet him in book 1, he's kind of resistant to forming bonds with others and trusting others, especially heroes that are summoned. But now he's more willing to open up and accept that there may be other people that might join his side. He's more willing to stretch out his arms to them. Together, there's no obstacle too great for us to overcome. And that is more than a feeling in my bones. I know it in my heart of hearts. Now lead on. Right? And then more generic enemies, but this time one has a Dragonstone. So we'll just breeze through this. But see, I kind of like that evolution in Alphonse's character, because it's so different from what he was originally. Originally, he was that guy who just didn't want to trust any heroes, didn't want to make bonds. Sharena was the one who was like, hey, I'm gonna be friends with everyone, and Alphonse is the one who didn't want to get his heart broken, right? Okay, 1.4. Okay, in 1.4 we get no story. Big disappointment. There's no story to this. The enemies are still not in mech suits, so I have a gripe there. and we just get generic stuff. So by now, I'm hoping that, 1.5 would give us something juicy to go off of, because definitely 1.4 is just generic build, right? Okay, so now we have royal family. So the chapter is called Royal Family, and we're gonna find out why. Aren't you glad I muted for that sneeze? I will not lose again, not this time. I claim both the summoner and the country in the name of Naftalier. Wait, Princess Reginn, are you sure you want? Are you sure this is what you want? What sort of question is that? Of course it is. Now you can sense her hesitation. In 5.1, part 1, you really couldn't see that, but here you can see it. You lack conviction, I can tell. So Alphonse is like, I can just tell now. I have the experience. I would rather not fight a meaningless battle against someone with no will to fight. So please, would you? Shut up, shut up, shut up! Even if it means I die here, I will prove myself worthy of my king. Oppose me at your own peril. I have no intention of taking prisoners. So we find out another thing, is that Reginn is really focused on her king, I guess that would be the best way to say it. She wants to prove her king, prove to her king that she's capable. So we find out that she's loyal, and that's very important because her loyalty makes this next part kind of tragic, right? So we beat her, and she's like, I lost? Well, I guess, if you're going to battle, you should be prepared to lose. And then immediately cries. We get a crying face. This is like the first time in Fire Emblem Heroes where one of the standard art is like a crying face, and it's like you can see the tears running down, right? Those aren't just little water droplets. They're like heavy tears. Brother, please forgive me. I was too weak. It was too much for me. She seems different from a moment ago. Is this the same Princess Reginn? So Sharena's being kind again. Like, what's wrong? What's happening? Princess Reginn, you held back. That is why you lost. But why? So Alphonse doesn't been like, oh, poor baby. He's not a simp anymore. He's princely now. He treats her with respect. So he addresses her Princess Reginn. If there's anything you can tell us, we'll gladly listen. Prince Alphonse, why are you worried about me? Up until a moment ago, I was your enemy. I said I would kill you. The people of Asgard are truly kind, aren't you? Kinder than I can ever imagine. Princess Reginn, can you tell us anything at all? Alright, that is it. I made up my mind. I'm coming with you to help you fight. My brother, King Fáfnir, you have to stop him. Okay, so she instantly betrays her king. She doesn't really explain why either. Like, if you remember Hel and Air, Hel kind of tricks her into joining Alphonse's army, and Air at least tells them why she wants to join them. So there was that. Fiorm, you join her because you are fighting together against a common enemy. But here, Alphonse just reaches out. The entire Asgard trio just reaches out and be like, hey, what's wrong? And then she instantly joins them, and they don't even explain how they trust her. They just trust her. That's kind of just a fact at this point in time. So we're gonna go to 2-1 now. Excuse me, King Fáfnir, your majesty. So this guy, Alter, he has a very interesting color palette because he looks very close to Alphonse. And maybe this is why Reginn was more willing to turn. His hairstyle's the same, except it's all black. His clothing has the gears from Niflheim, And the palette is very Xander, the red, white, and black. Out with it, Altair. The troops we sent to Asgard were defeated at the border, sire, and our sister, Reginn, got herself captured. And now the Askan army is advancing to Nidavellir, with Reginn in tow. Too much for her to handle. After all, was it? Fine, leave her. It's better this way. So we know this king abandons his sister right away. But sire, if we do nothing to stop them, Reginn will... Explain to me why I should care for someone so clearly worth it. Sisters be damned. So whether she's my sister or not, she wasn't worthy. Screw her is basically. If the Askan dispose of her, that's one less piece of trash for me to deal with. And here we get his smug ass smile, right? Not great for a brother, but that's what it is. Perhaps I should thank them for saving me the time and effort. Who speaks like that? As you wish, your majesty. So now you see his eyes are kind of looking down because he's like, I will do it. But you can tell that he's not happy. Whatever comes of it, it's your responsibility. It was your idea to invade Asker in the fur. Brother, are you alright? Is your head still? It's nothing. As I said, the mess is yours to clean up. I haven't had time for such trifles. Where to next? Where to next? Trifle, the capture of your sister, is so unworthy of your time? What happened to you, brother? So you have two brothers, Princess Reginn. So you, basically, right? So you have brothers, Princess Reginn, too, right? That's right, the oldest is Fáfnir, who is king of Nidavellir. Then our middle sibling is named Altair, though only Altair and I are related by blood. What do you mean? So here's the interesting thing. Her and Altair are true siblings. Oh, Altair and I are orphans, and I don't remember anything because I was just a baby, but when the old king was killed a long time ago, the kingdom fell into chaos. That was when our parents died. But Altair kept me close, and we wandered here and there just trying to survive. We were staying in a village when violence broke out. Fáfnir saved us, and he let us stay with him. Ah, I see now why you mentioned you're not blood related. So we get a little bit backstory here from... definitely from her statement alone. We know that Nidavellir they had a king and they died, and after that king there was a span of time when her and Altair were alone, and then they met Fáfnir before he was king. None of that matter though. What really matter is the time we spent together. They're both strong and brilliant, and I'm proud to have them as brothers. So she's like, it doesn't matter if we're blood related, I still care for them both. Sounds like you have every right. King Fáfnir took in orphans to raise a family. That's no small act of kindness. It's not. Given his recent inhumane aggression, I almost can't believe it really happened. Commander. My apologies. No, what you said is true, and his ire is not limited to those outside our borders. Since Nidavellir is always at war, families are separated to add bodies to the war effort, and food is sacred. Everyone has been suffering for a long time, so that's why the enemy, they're upon us. So here we get Knoll's and Natasha, right? But they don't get any opening dialogue, which is kind of regretful because I really like Knoll's. If you play Forging Bonds, you get a little more of him kind of wrestle with the idea that dark mages are okay. And I might do a separate video on that, but I think that story is cool. Those were Altair's troops. How could he found me already? I thought this route would hide us better. The járn arts of Nidavellir are more powerful than ever. We were always going to be found sooner or later, but we need to avoid senseless combat to succeed. Princess Reginn, how long until we reach our destination? The goal you spoke of before. Less than 3 days. Less than 3 days, but we're gonna drag this out probably like 6 chapters. We will get to the Forest Sanctum, where the forest sage Eltree lives. So we know we're getting another new character here in a fairly short amount of time. We know their name. Eitri will definitely know how to stop Fáfnir. But if Ulter knows we're here, we have to make every second count, right? Continuing to confront Niftafalir will not end well for us. Let's move quickly and quietly as we can. We just have to do our best to conserve strength. He says that, but if you've been playing Fire Emblem Heroes since the beginning, your barracks are probably like full of every hero that you can possibly imagine, right? So Asker has the force. Alright, so we have Caellach here, and I'm sick of death of living like a desert rat. I'm going to be king one day. So now we're back to the same story structure where you will get like a story at the beginning and the end and maybe the middle, but the chapters in between is like they introduce you to one character, they say kind of their opening dialogue, and then you just defeat them and that's it. And once again, we're in 5-2 now, and none of the units have special mechas. It was only Reginn so far, so maybe it's rare. Maybe only royalty gets mechas. So here is part 3. Again, you get Selena and her little intro, and then that's it. You go straight into battle. So I hope they don't do this too much, because some of the times the chapters, this is it. You get kind of the beginning, the end, and then in between it's just introduction and you kill them. And if you never played the games, in this case Sacred Stones, which I've played several times because there's actually 2 paths, you won't know who they are, but these are the generals of the Emperor for Sacred Stones. As a warrior, I take my pride in improving my skills and passing to willing students. Duessel. So someone pointed out in my other video, his English voice is actually the original voice for Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z, so I thought that was cool. They're bringing on some actors that have worked on other voice projects before that are famous. So, and justly, to represent Duessel, who's kind of like an age experienced general, I think that's pretty appropriate, right? So it's a neat little touch. Look at Anna and her weapon skills. All right, so we get before the 5th part of 5-2. Strange, the Askan army went this way, then the castle wasn't their target. Are they after Eitri? I doubt the Askan army stands a chance of capturing her. Even so, I should make sure. Convenient. The summoner would pay her a visit by choice, though. I only need to kill those who are in the way. So Ulter knows what's up. He knows that why would they go after this person, especially if they don't even know. We don't even know who these guys are. The Askans, right? They're in Niftafalir and they're going straight for Eitri. They don't even know who they are. And even Reginn will know. What am I thinking? So he's a tactician. He kind of analyzes what's up, but he doesn't quite believe. At this point, he kind of suspects it has something to do with Reginn, but he's like, I'm not gonna let my thoughts wander further, because that I don't want to, think that she's a traitor. Ah, Reginn, there you are. You've been gone for so long. Ulter. So long you forgot your place. You will learn to refer me to my lord eventually. But what's this? What are you up to? Did you forget your orders were to return here with the summoner? Or did you simply decide you would rather picnic with the enemy army? Picnic with the enemy army. What a way to put it. No, that's not. You must be the brother of King Fáfnir. Prince Ulter, is it? I am Alphonse, Prince of Asker. I believe there's a good reason for us to cooperate with Reginn. Cooperate? What is the meaning of this, Reginn? Brother, I can't do it anymore. On invading country after country while our people suffer. So she's actually invaded other countries before, but she just magically had a change of heart when it came to Asker. And I do like the landscape here. If you look in the background, you see kind of bridges, but they're still keeping that circular gear design. And the environment looks pretty. And the two of you, I can't stand anymore. I want my brothers back. Please, brother. Please? You asked me to join forces with our enemies and war against the mighty Niftafalir? Yes, that's exactly right. He can't be allowed to continue inflicting pain on the world. I swear I'll stop him, even if it kills me. Even if it kills you, you say. Prince Altair? It's perfect. Yes, this will do just fine. Reginn, you are my sister no longer. As of now, you are my enemy. You've forsaken your homeland, and for that I will run through you without hesitation. Pretty harsh. Your only value to me now is as food for the dogs. Really extreme turn, right? And then I will be the only family our dear brother has left. Ha, 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 ha. Brother, no. How can you be so cruel? Princess Reginn is your only sister, isn't she? Cruel, she's done this to herself. Now I have work to do and no time to waste breath on you. Leave me, the summoner, and be gone. So here's another detail, is he's also in one of the mechas, right? She wasn't, or she was, but none of the other units are in the mecha, right? And you can see that he is a cavalry unit as well. They can move far, but they can't move into the forest areas, or, yep. Okay, damn it. You may have forced my retreat for now, but the sage forest lies ahead. You will not pass what awaits you so easily. So you know that Etri is in what is called the sage forest, or you need to pass through the sage forest, so there's a little more lore there. Altair, such spite. If my brother said anything like that to me, I'll curl up in a ball, sobbing. Sharena's so kind, but at times she's just a little kid. He may seem hateful now, but Altair was very kind. Rage overpowers them, both Fáfnir and Altair. I need to learn why. I need to fix it so they don't suffer anymore or bring more suffering to others. If I can do that, the wars will stop and we can live in peace, right? I hope so, Princess Reginn. First, I have to ask, you wanted to capture Noctis 4. Altair ordered me to do it, but he never bothered explaining why, at least not to me. Of course. What does he plan to do once he has? Oh, sorry. You needn't to worry. He will never get a chance to lay a single finger on you. That said, we should move to the forest. And that was book 5-1 and 5-2. I'm glad that they gave us 2 chapters to start, and they got to introduce us to Fáfnir, Altair, and Reginn, which is nice. They even gave us a little background of why they became siblings. It's kind of interesting too that Altair is the one who ordered the attack on Asgard and not Fáfnir himself. And then as for Reginn, she's been conflicted this whole time. So how many other countries have they raided and failed, right? And when were they doing this? Because we were in 3 countries ourselves, right? Where we're in basically ice area, fire area, and death realm. The dream realm doesn't really count because that's not kind of one of the realms, but it may. So when were they taking over the other realms and you don't find out, or are there just minor countries, right? So there's that question. We find out Reginn and Altair were together, but she doesn't really remember whether or not they were together. But one thing to prove that they're siblings is kind of her eyes here. They're amber, right? They're yellow. So that you can link her to him that way. But Fáfnir is not their blood relative. So we wonder if when he took them in, and how much older is he than they are? So there's that question as well, right? Her armor is a red stone and Altair is a green stone. Does that matter? Like, there's that question as well. But I was really happy to see Alphonse grow. I think at the beginning they were trying to position him kind of as the standoff prince in book 1, and even in book 2, just because Fjorm and her family, their story was so strong that Alphonse gets kind of overshadowed. He doesn't really get a story until book 3 with Hel and Leif. So that's actually when he truly grew. And then we kind of got fake Alphonse in book 4. So once again, we didn't even get the real Alphonse. So we didn't even get to see that. And then now we finally get to see Alphonse again. So I'm really hoping he continues to develop as the Prince of Asgard. We did get some story development for Sharena in book 4. But basically she woke up and forgot that she was dreaming. And I guess the rules is once you wake up from the dream, you don't remember anything. But we do get her backstory, and we get that she's kind. Anna here, I didn't like the way they set up her. You know, Anna is my girl, and it's like, oh, I kept an eye on this kingdom, but I forgot. I must have not done a good job because they invaded it out of nowhere. So I wish she gets more Commander Anna stuff as opposed to the Money Anna. I think the Money Anna is always fun, but those are reserved for like the beach swimsuits or the Christmas dress up or the New Year dress up. I want to see more Commander Anna in action, but then again, kind of Alphonse and Anna would have clashed over that role. So we'll see how that goes. As for Reginn, as a unit, she's great, and that's probably going to be a different video, but the main important thing is she has Canto. So what Canto is in other Fire Emblem games is when you attack, after you attack, you can move. They don't have that on cavalry units in this game because it was OP'd, or it is OP'd. But they have it in her unit where she can attack, and after she attacks, she can move afterwards. So that's really the unique draw. You are going to need her for the Ether Raids because she allows you to have a 6-member. And she's overall the first new mythic units. I think we're going to get some new mythic units here, hopefully a month apart, just like they've been doing so far. Alright guys, that's kind of my review and analysis of 5.1 and 5.2. Hope you guys liked it, and check back next time for more Fire Emblem videos. Thanks guys, bye.